Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'll be doing a video on who is the better Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. As you all know, Tobey Maguire is the original Spider-Man from the franchise that started around 2000, ended around 2009, Spider-Man is 1, 2, and 3. Andrew Garfield is the one from Amazing Spider-Man. He came out in the movie that came out last year. Pretty sure it was last year, and the one that's gonna come out for next year. So yeah, he's the Amazing Spider-Man after for Spider-Man. So yeah, this is gonna basically be a video on who is the better Spider-Man. I'm gonna start off with Tobey Maguire, and yeah, so Tobey Maguire overall he's a pretty decent actor. He did do he was Spider-Man for the original three movies, and um now as Spider-Man he does do justice for the role. He does it justice for the role. He does have some iconic scenes as a Spider-Man. Saving Mary Jane. Yeah, saving Mary Jane. Um, in the first movie, I believe. You know, that's a pretty iconic scene. Um, and then in the third one, which was kind of a horrendous accident, sorts. He did do that fight against Venom and Sandman. So sort of that one was kind of iffy too. So yeah. Now, he does have some iconic scenes, and as again, he does do justice for the role. And him being original, I'm trying to be not as biased as I can, because most people are gonna be biased to either the new one or the old one, original or the newest one, depending who you are. I'm trying to be not as biased. I'm trying to be unbiased basically. So give me a break. Andrew Garfield, he's basically he's the new guy. He's the one for Amazing Spider-Man, and yeah, he's the actor for Amazing Spider-Man. This is really just gonna go based off on the first one, considering we're gonna get the next one in May 26th, I believe, was the air date of next year. Um, Again, he does have some pretty iconic scenes, just like Tobey Maguire. Yeah, he does have that one scene in the what was that, like a quickie mart or gasoline station, or was like the convenience store, right before the robber came, and the robber came and murdered his father. Um, he does do justice to role as well, and yeah, other iconic scenes of him, in my opinion, would be the one with Captain Stacy, where he's holding Captain Stacy in his arms, and he he's talking about they're basically talking about Mary Jane. I mean, not Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy. Talking about Gwen Stacy, and then the fight with Lizard. That was also pretty good. That scene was pretty good. His movements were also pretty good. Yeah. But Tobey Maguire, there are some emotional scenes you also get to feel with him. Um, Most specifically the death of his uncle, Uncle Ben, which in my opinion feels more emotional and more realistic than the one that Andrew Garfield did. Now, don't get me wrong, Andrew Garfield still gave a pretty good performance. Giving out that emotion, still felt bad for the guy, but I feel like Tobey Maguire's reaction to the news was more realistic to some extent. But I think that one's just due to the writing, because I'm pretty sure someone who dies just off the street, you wouldn't just get up and leave. Then again, they did the same thing with Amazing Spider-Man, so I'm not sure if they did the same thing in the comics, which may be the reason, but honestly, I'm not sure. But honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't get up and leave. I mean, like, get up eventually, but not maybe about a minute and a half after. You know. Well, But the difference is that emotion-wise, we do get to see more emotion out of. You see more emotion out of Tobey Maguire, not Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Yet you feel more bad for the guy, which is Tobey Maguire, which I think is a bonus for Tobey Maguire. He brings out the emotion. Now, action-wise, he's not the best action star. Especially in the third one, he that was bad. That was terrible. But I think that's just it was just the direction of the movie. So yeah, action wise, Andrew Garfield will have to take this one. He has better movement, of his body. No homo. I'm not gay, but trying to. I'm gonna. This is gonna be very awkward. Awkward. He's he has better movement of his body. Like an action star superhero would be like Chris Evans kind of had in Fantastic Four. Maybe a little bit better than Chris Evans in Fantastic Four, but it was right around there. Tobey Maguire, he didn't exactly have the movement for it. Yeah. Now body style. They're both pretty fit. Now speed wise for Spider-Man, I think Tobey Maguire will have to take this one. Strength wise, it'd have to be Andrew Garfield who takes this one. So yeah. So far I basically based their acting, their emotions, their emotions, action scenes, movements, and basically power wise, how they control their powers as if they were Spider-Man. So those were basically the four criterias I would like to point out. So for the first one, acting wise, it's a tie. I mean, they're pretty decent actors. Uh, I'd honestly have to say Tobey Maguire maybe has a little bit lead on him, and I think that also has to do because of the emotion, which is also acting. So 2 for Maguire. Action wise, I'd have to give down to Andrew Garfield. How he moves. Yeah, agility wise, like how fast he runs. That one has to be Tobey Maguire. So far, 3 for Tobey Maguire, 1 for Andrew Garfield, and lastly, like strength wise and body build, that one I'd have to give to Andrew Garfield. Lastly, and this is gonna be to decide, depending how this goes, or either maybe one or two more. Um, Girl wise, yes, I just said that. Girl wise, who seems to be better with girls? Mary Jane is pretty stuck with Spider-Man, which is Tobey Maguire. They do you see the connection between them two, and then um Gwen Stacy, you also feel the connection between her and Peter Parker, which would be Andrew Garfield. But honestly, feel the connection between Andrew Garfield's and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Gwen Stacy. I think was Emma Stone, I believe. Um, they have a they seem to have more realistic bond, and better connection. And yeah, so far that's 3. And yeah, I actually did have one more criteria. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. Nerd wise, yes, nerd wise. Why did I say? Why did I say that? Cause just like in the comics, all 3 of them comics in the 2 movies or 2 movie franchises, they do start off as geeks, straight up nerds. People who are decently hated throughout school till pretty much the end of the movie. Um, who seems to be the bigger nerd? I mean, Tobey Maguire, he fits the nerd role perfectly. Andrew Garfield, he seems more like a jock, an unpopular jock. I mean, yeah, he'd be like that random skater boy. Instead, we both end up meeting them. They like photography, so it's kind of weird. But nerd wise, I'd have to give that one to Tobey Maguire any day because he just looks like a nerd straight up. Before the bite. Andrew Garfield, on the other hand, he looks nothing like a looks nothing like a nerd. He looks more like a beginner's jock, or like maybe a wannabe jock, but because he's got the skateboard, he's got the hair, you know. But I have to give one to Tobey Maguire. So 4 out of 3 out of 7 criteria, Tobey Maguire, I guess, in my opinion, is the better Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and yeah. So those are my thoughts. Down below in the comments, tell me who you guys prefer as the Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. Maybe you guys have a different reasons why, or maybe you agree with me. So tell me why if you guys want. Yeah. So yeah, if you're new around here, subscribe to my channel. I do have other videos. Some on superheroes, some on superhero comics, some on other comics such as Walking Dead. I also have reviews for the Walking Dead TV show, and then I also have some movie reviews on other movies such as Zombieland and Avengers and Hunger Games. Then just other reviews on events that have been happening on the news lately. And yeah, so if you're new around here, so please subscribe. Um, don't forget to comment below on your thoughts on this video and who you prefer as a Spider-Man. And yeah, so and please share this on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, and Vine, or whichever other server you prefer. And yeah, this is Daniel Mark signing off.